Hello to all traders and welcome to the final installment of the Market Insights video for this week. This video has once again been brought to you by Orbex. So, as the headline suggests, are we heading for another recession in America? And not only in America actually, but in the Eurozone and the Asia levels as well, because we've seen a lot of the GDP suffer from this time last year. For America, for example, it was up by 12% in the second quarter of 2021. Now we've seen it revised down at 3.5% in the first quarter of this year. But it was actually predicted, as we've seen fiscal and monetary policy being tweaked, let's say. We've had the dollar index actually fall from $105 to $100 in just a few sessions as well, after we saw a 2-decade high on the index. So we're looking at not only the DXY, we're looking at the US indexes as well to give us a little bit of, let's say, excuse me, an inkling, an idea of where the markets are going to be headed for the rest of the year as well. We're also looking at the fact that the NFP is next week as well. 428 jobs added in the last segment. This time around only predicted 350,000. So is it a sign of a slowing economy? We've seen Fed Jerome Powell really start taking a hard stance on rate hikes as well. So now we're just waiting to see what the next installment is for the FOMC minutes, as well as everything else that's going on. So as I said, we've seen a 2-decade high fall, on the US index, which has seen moves of looking like, I'll just put this on the weekly chart, so you can just see the levels that we have had recently. So as you can see here, this has been, the 105 level hasn't really been reached since the 2002, 2003. Now if we bring it to the daily chart, just wanted to zoom in and zoom out just to see what the levels are at the moment. But if you can see here, we are now looking at the fact that we have seen this drop off and this dramatic sell off in the dollar index. And this has worried a lot of investors, because we are seeing now possibly this to continue in the near term and more move to the downside. So if that does happen, we'll be looking at the top border of the Ichimoku cloud to give us a slight advancement and possible support. We're just also looking at the fact that we are seeing a slight bullish divergence. So this could not be the end of a potential upside move before we possibly see another move to the downside. So we're just now in a little bit of a mix to see if the dollar index is going to start subtracting, start moving lower, if this sell-off is going to continue, and what this means for the American economy. And it will give a very good insight into the NFP job number next week as well. So, you know, when we are looking at all these excuse me, all these numbers and figures, and taking into the fact that the fundamentals as well, then the trading can be very predictive, which can be very profitable. So just keep that in mind as well. So at the moment, it's a clear bear market in a clear descending channel at the moment. So we're just waiting to see if, like I said, if there will be a bounce. On the 4-hour chart, the RSI isn't really showing me much on the signal stance like it did on the daily chart. However, we are expecting another possible support move to the upside, a possible test at the lower border of the Ichimoku cloud, and then a move downwards. If we do break this $100 psychological support, however, this could mean very, very negative reaction from the bulls, and bears will probably take the approach and start moving even lower. So just keep an eye on the comings and goings, especially for the NFP next week and the next FOMC meeting. Just want to look on the S&P 500 as well. This has taken a bit of an upturn as well in the last couple of sessions, but you know, we are still in a vast bear market. If we bring it back to the daily chart, as you can see here, charts moving quite progressively to the downside. You could say we fell out of the descending channel after these two descending peaks. However, now we are pushing higher, but it could just be a little bit of a flash in a pan, let's say, if you know that expression. Just basically, it could just be a moment where markets do tend to start moving higher, and then we could see another move to the downside for the S&P 500. It's the same with the NASDAQ and the Dow. The Dow has been a little bit flat since a major uptick in the beginning of the week, 600-point move to the upside. However, the NASDAQ and the S&P are broadly falling quite lower in the near term as well. So if we could bring it back to a 4-hour chart, as you can see here, we are about to test the upper border of the Ichimoku, the lower border of the Ichimoku cloud. This could give us heavy resistance if we do not pierce it and start moving higher. I'll just remove some of these drawings because it is getting a little bit too much here. So we are now looking at the fact that we could start moving a little bit higher, get some resistance, and then start penetrating possibly the cloud If not, then moving lower. So just keep an eye on these bottoms here. Nice double bottom here at the 3,800 mark. We are now looking to see a hold above 4,000, but if it does not, then another move to downside is likely. So again, you know, we've got all the comings and goings from the latest in stocks. We are still looking to see if prices will start moving higher or lower in the near term as well. So just keep an eye on all the fundamentals, and we'll speak again next week for more stock watch and more market insights, and I'll bring to you all the comings and goings to see the best opportunities in the market. So until then, all traders, bye for now.